So what I have behind me is the small oil mill. I know some of you have tried that and you're just not sure if you're actually getting a profit or not. So stick around. I'm going to show you exactly how much you're getting, give or take a little bit, and if it's worth your while, so you know whether to continue using that thing or trying it for the first time or not, based on what you're planning and putting into it. Let me show you in the menu real quick where you find this thing. You're going to go over to construction, down here to productions or factories, and scroll down, and you're going to see it when you start to get to the $36,000 ones. Slow down, you're getting close. And there it is right there. Okay, let me show you the production menu of it. So you can put canola, olives, long grain rice, regular rice, or sunflowers, and you get the oil from those. And you can see the capacities over there on the right. So that's where you get it. Let's see how much money you can get from this dude. So let's look at some data. We're going to start with canola. For canola, to fill this thing up for a year, you'll need about 2.5 acres of it. So if you have a small farm with 2.5 acres of canola, you can keep this thing running for about a year. Look at the data there. We used 11,535 liters of canola. And we got $15,304 in profit. Okay, now there's an opportunity cost involved. If we sold, put our canola in a silo and sold it at the best possible time, we would have gotten $14,776. Okay, quite a bit. But that's only a 528 gain over what we would have gotten. Okay, and that's 3.57% more, or about 1.5% return on investment. Not the best. However, if you're the type of farmer that doesn't use a silo and just sells it when you harvest it, then your opportunity cost would only be $10,382, and now you're making $4,900 and change above what you would have, or 47% more, or almost 14% return on investment. So then it becomes a thing you do. If you use a silo, then you don't want to use this thing for canola. Okay, flipping over to sunflowers. For sunflowers, we used 11,530 liters, almost the same. We got $17,067, but our opportunity cost was $16,638. So we only made $429 above that, or about 2.58%. So our return on investment was only 1.19. Now, once again, if you're the type that doesn't use a silo and you sell it as soon as you harvest it, your opportunity cost is a little lower at $15,496. So you would have gotten an extra $1,500 or $1,600, or about 10% more. Still a relatively small return on investment at 4.36%. Okay, let's look at long grain rice. Okay, long grain rice, we used 14,404 liters of long grain rice to keep this thing running for a year, and we netted $16,151. That's $1,589 above, or extra profit, that we would have gotten above the opportunity cost of $14,562. Okay, so that gave us about almost 11% more, or 4.41% return on investment. Not setting the woods on fire, but not too bad. Your interest rate is 4%. So if you borrowed the $36,000, you're still coming out a little bit. Okay, but once again, if you don't use a silo, not a whole lot difference in this one, because the way the price of long grain rice is, it doesn't vary much year round. So you can see the data there. Not a whole lot of difference for that one. Now for regular rice, we use 6,915 liters of regular rice. We got $16,130. Our opportunity cost was $14,522, so we made $1,609 above that opportunity cost, what we would have gotten had we just sold it at the optimum time, or about 11% more, 4.47 return on investment. And once again, if you don't use a silo, it nudges up just a little bit. $1,954 more, 13.79% more, or 5.43 return on investment. Now, if you look at olives, we only used 7,206 liters. We made $11,074. Our opportunity cost was $9,209, so we got $1,865 above that, or about 20% more. Our return on equity on that was about 5%. Okay, now for olives, if you're not storing them in a silo somewhere and selling them at the optimum time, though, this little gizmo works pretty good for that, because your opportunity cost drops down to $6,666. So you would have made an extra $4,408, or 66% above what you would have gotten. And that works out to a 12.25% return on investment for this little oil mill right here. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So share this with your farming buddies if you like what you saw here. I am Farmer Teacher. I'm going to do another one probably on the full size oil mill. We'll see how that comes out. And I'll see you on the next go round. Bye-bye.